I grew up in a very religious family, went to church every Sunday, and just sort of something that we always did.
But I never understood the relational side of it between Christ and myself.
I always believed there was a God. I never really doubted that there was, but I didn't know how to access him.
I don't know, I just didn't really care because of all the things that had happened to me that I kind of blamed God for. It was like, well, where were you when, X, Y, and Z happened? So why do I care what you think of me?
I felt like even in my best attempts to follow his rules that I fell so short, and so I was frustrated and I was angry and I was lonely.
But I had absolutely no knowledge of the gospel. I had never heard what Christ had done for me.
My life before Christ was Lord in my life. Was a pretty pathetic life.
When I was like 16 years old, then I started getting involved with the drinking at my brother's 18th birthday party.
Now I see my life as full of sin, but I didn't think of any of the consequences of my choices of sin.
Being independent, you're like, I don't need anybody's help, I can get through this by myself.
And I was just kind of shaking my fist at him and say, I'm going to do it myself.
Started just going to church just to get away from the house and be away from the house.
And then when I got into college, I rode the fence. It was where I got involved with the church, but at the same time I was still keeping a foot in the party scene. And
when I finally decided, I've either got to go one way or the other. I've either got to live for Christ 100% or live for the world 100%. I can't be riding the fence like I had been.
I knew how hopeless my life was without him and how helpless I was without him.
I wanted to die, to be quite honest, and I didn't care what happened, but the only thing that kept stopping me was what's going to happen to me when I die.
I was laying face down, and all that was going through my head was, I need you. Just crying out to the Lord.
And I remember thinking, I can't be a Christian. I am such a sinner. And having a distinct internal thought that the Lord said, that's why I died.
Last year when we moved back to Ames, we started coming to Cornerstone.
And I started to see other Christians who were obeying Christ. And
we've been going here for a year now, and things are totally different. I find myself going to church not because I feel I have to, but because I want to.
Listening to the sermons, I was actually getting something out of the sermons. I felt that I was being fed spiritually.
That's what I'm thankful for, is the truth. That I see where the truth is now. I believe the Bible is true, and that's where I go for answers,
And it was during that time that I began studying the scriptures daily with the intent to obey.
And that's when I really started to get to know Christ a lot better.
And immediately changes started happening in my life, and that's when I think my life really turned around.
I've been changing a lot in just my actions, the way I talk, the way I treat people and stuff like that.
Right and wrong, the little things that you try to justify, oh, this is okay. No, actually it's not. And your heart gets tugged at.
I try to be a witness for other people. Now that I know that what my purpose is, I want to share that purpose with other people.
I began plugging in at church. I began investing in the church that had invested so much in me.
I really needed the accountability for doing the devotions, getting my Bible, praying. It really helped a lot, just having someone there.
I know that God is my purpose, and I try to seek Him.
I think God's given me a real heart of a servant, and it's been really evident to me in this past year or so. Just whenever I get a chance to help someone out, I just go and jump right on it.
The world is still really appealing, so it's still a struggle every single day to wake up and decide to take up my cross.
There's something fulfilling me, and it's not the stuff of the world.
And really, even if I was on the right path, we still always need Him, and we can't do anything without Him.
And even when I do still stumble, because even to this day, I'm not perfect just because I made that choice. It's the fact that He will take me back and He'll continue to love me.
there is a purpose of life, and that is to love and honor God and just totally live for God. And
I know that when I die, that I'll be spending eternity with God, with Christ, and with all my brothers and sisters. So
the difference that he makes is just my whole purpose for life is not just this life, but realizing that there's much more.